The trees we've planted down here, the willow trees by the spring house, have added stability to that area. Also pull up nutrients out of the small stream that we'll be driving up to. Then on my left is the heifer feeding shed where the heifers eat inside, and they no longer gather around the round bale feeder and create an environmental situation.
Here at Wright Farm, we keep right at 100,000 chickens on the farm at all times. And then we also have beef cattle and a dairy farm too. Milk about 150 cows. I graduated school in 1975 and been farming ever since. The only job I ever had. Well, basically when I started, it was up to the farmer to be environmentally friendly, you know.
Up until, I would say, the mid-'80s, we didn't hear a lot about the environmental regulations. Then as Chesapeake Bay started to become more and more of an issue, pollution in the bay, it appeared that people were watching us more closely, starting to look at how we could improve our farm to minimize the environmental impact of our operation.
The Clean East Project is a congressionally funded cooperative agreement that was awarded by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to RTI International and its sub-agreement partner, North Carolina State University, and their Animal and Poultry Waste Management Center.
The Clean East program was a project to encourage producers to volunteer to participate for nutrient management plans and environmental assessment programs for their farms, to see what they're doing good on the farm and areas where they might improve their environmental stewardship.
The project served the 27 states east of the Mississippi River, and we developed an outreach plan that was designed to look regionally as well as at the most vulnerable or most sensitive, nutrient-sensitive watersheds in the country. It's important because it helps them understand their role in water quality protection, water quality management. I think also the fact that it was no cost to the farm operation, it was key to it.
One of the things that the program did very well that was the farmers really liked was the confidentiality. Is anything that we did on a farm, the only people that had copies of that information was the Clean East program and the farmer. So that they didn't have a regulatory approach. We weren't requiring them to do anything. This wasn't going to be going to EPA or a state agency. They were the only ones that were going to see what we suggested.
More than 429 livestock and poultry operations were accepted by the Clean East Project and served. This included 174 dairy operations, 90 beef operations, 88 swine, 67 poultry operations, and several horse and sheep operations as well. And they represented 20 of the 27 states we were charged to serve. Those were the ones interested in participating and volunteering. This served farms of all sizes. It wasn't just the large CAFOs. It was the very small operator up to the large, because we do believe that the small operator can play just as vital a role in water quality protection.
Once they were accepted into the program, they'd be assigned a technical assistance professional and is experienced in doing the environmental assessments and the nutrient management plan development. So that technical assistance professional would contact them, set up an appointment to come out and visit the farm, look at their records, what they were currently doing, the fields that they're using for land application, the number of animals, just the whole farm layout.
Really what I asked the farmer to do is just show me around the farm. Let's start with just show me what you're doing. And then the conversation would usually flow. As we walked around the farm, and we'd see environmental issues. And I had a checklist of certain things I needed to see, and if we hadn't gotten there, then we would go back and catch an area that maybe we had missed. But by having a non-regulatory style approach, the farmers were much more open to talk about things and to answer questions.
These are NRCS registered technical service providers. However, we train them to conduct the program in a consistent fashion across the entire Clean East project.
Yeah, he rode around with me and looked at the lay of the land to make sure it wasn't highly erodible, and we wouldn't be too close to any streams or anything. And yeah, he worked with me really well.
They're looking at things such as the storage of the manure, the land application of the manure, whether they have adequate acreage for land application, what the potential for runoff is. Do they need to simply reroute gutters that are on barns?
For us, the value was having a fresh set of eyes come on the farm, make recommendations, make suggestions on the issues we had, and give us a doable way to deal with them.
And then the technical assistant professional would then take that information back to their office, and they would develop a final report for the environmental assessment report, highlighting the things that the producers were doing well, but also highlighting some of the areas where there could be some improvements made.
Oh, in today's environment, it's everything. For you to operate and survive in today's times, you got to have a good waste management plan, and you got to have the knowledge and the paperwork to show that you're not harming the environment, you know, and you're not affecting any streams or underground wells or anything like that.
The project's really been more successful than I thought it would be.
So as part of the measurement of the Clean East Project's performance, we conducted a survey of the farm operators after they had been visited by our technical assistance professionals. 93% said that they agreed that the program was worthwhile, that they learned something new, that they found themselves more knowledgeable about their role in the environment and how they can improve their practices.
And all of them were, hey, this is great, this is going to help me. And a couple of them told me that they saw that by doing what we had suggested, that they were actually going to save money in the long run because we were cleaning up some management issues.
I don't really know how you could put a price on it, especially if you were in an area that didn't, in a county that didn't have any knowledge of waste management. And that's the number one thing you've got to have in farming today is a waste management plan, because they will not give you a permit without it. Without, you know, Clean East assisting me with it, building a new dairy, so I don't think I would have been able to get it done, you know.
I felt it was valuable. I felt that we probably came out of his professional assessment better than I expected we would, so I was gratified by that actually. His comments were common sense things that were helpful and doable as far as implementation, so it was a good program for us. We'll continue to look and assess our situation and do the things that we can to improve our environmental issues here on the farm.
So it does appear that they will be implementing these recommendations on a voluntary basis and achieve significant water quality benefits.
Clean water is a value to everybody. There's only so much clean water left on the earth.